Live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Josh Martinez in our Dunkin Lounge on a tour bus is what it looks like. Set it off. What's going on, fellas?
You all right? How you doing?
Chilling, man, chilling. So you guys are currently on tour. You do have a show this weekend in New York City. But before you get to that show, how has the tour been so far? Because you guys have been on the road for a little bit, right?
Dude, it's been incredible. I was doing a count. I asked our tour managers, like, hey, what's the last show we played? And we counted the amount of days, and it was 675 days since we played a show again when this tour started. And so performing being like our favorite thing to do on the planet, it was just absolutely incredible to be able to come back and play shows again. So it's just been every day. It's just been like a reminder as to why we love doing what we do.
No, 100%. And I've actually, you guys have been a band for quite some time now. Set It Off has been in the game for a while now. Yeah. What would you say is the biggest change between touring now, post-COVID or during COVID, and like your first or second major tour?
I'd say probably the types of interactions we're able to or should have with fans. Like I was known for like jumping on the crowd and crowd surfing and getting down to the barricade like every other song, and I can't do that this tour. So, and then when we do our VIP thing, meet and greets, we got to wear a mask, but just, it's all for the right reasons. We're just keeping everybody safe. But though, since I can't have that connection, the one thing I'm able to do is after the set, if anyone's still at the barricade, I'll go put my mask on, sanitize real quick, come down and just give everyone a quick high five. So we're doing what we can to let them know how much we appreciate them being there and to let them know that we wish we could. Let's just physically be out there like that. But that's probably the biggest change right now. But if this is what we got to do to play shows, and we'll do whatever it takes.
No, and I think a lot of artists have come to that, like whatever it takes, like literally whatever it takes.
Yeah, man.
That's what we're gonna do, because I think a lot of us, for lack of a better term, are fiend out to get back to what life was like, 2019 BC before COVID.
Yeah. Right? So, oh, absolutely, for real, man. And it was also like it's not just the fact that we love doing it; it's like it's our job, like. We got to get back out there. And so it's like you mix like the love with the necessity, and it's just there's got to be a way. And we start to see everyone opening up and playing shows again. We're like, okay, asking our agents, asking Live Nation, everyone involved, and we're like, okay, so we can do this, or we're able to. We're like, all right, let's do it.
100%. What was the because I feel like everybody magnifies the negative of COVID, and understandably so, positives. But what were some positives? And each of you could actually answer this. What were some positives of that time off, whether it was forced or not, unfortunately?
I got really, really good at Call of Duty. I also control a Rubik's Cube in under 30 seconds. I think those are my positives.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a Rubik's Cube niche on TikTok. You could easily
go wild. I know we all developed like different skills. Like for instance, Max and I had to pick up the program OBS because we were doing like Twitch streams and stuff like that, which was really helpful for us because even though we couldn't be out there connecting with fans, it gave us a way to very personally talk to our fans and have them get to know us on a real one-on-one level, where we were making like inside jokes and they get to see us in like every facet of who we are and in our lives. But there's also like some personal adventures that we had to like face. I know you went through some stuff.
Yeah, I think that, before everything shut down, we were touring for, 8 months out of the year. And so we could quite literally run away from our problems. And so suddenly you're stuck at home and there's nowhere to go. And it kind of gave us the time to work through that, work on ourselves. Like you said, pick up new hobbies, things like that. And that ended up kind of being the beginning of what this whole new album was about learning about yourself and accepting who you are. And on top of that, it's one of those things where I don't think we ever took touring for granted, but once it was taken away from us, it means even more to us now, which I didn't even think was possible.
Yeah.
So getting back out there and seeing how excited they are to be back at the show, the fans, and how excited we are, it is a different kind of energy. And it is somehow more powerful than I could have ever imagined.
100%. And I guess for me personally, like I was able to start writing the next record, which is now about to be, we can pre-order now elsewhere. Go ahead and do that. It's coming out March 11th. But we were able to really take our time with it, man. Like we were, when it hit us, we were about to go play a show in Australia. We were about to do a tour, Jimmy World in Asia. First time going to Asia. They got canceled. So we're like, okay, well, let's get an Airbnb, because right after that we were supposed to go to UK, Europe. And so then we waited at the Airbnb to see, can we go do this tour? Spoiler alert, we couldn't. So we just went back home, and I was like, well, at least we're at the end of our album cycle for Midnight. Let's start working on the next one. And we just got to work. Just went right to work.
So you said the album's coming out March 11th.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest difference with this album compared to essentially your entire catalog prior, EPs, LPs included?
I think with each album we get a little bit more adventurous. Like we're less afraid to try things we might have been too nervous to try in the past, because when you're starting out, you care so much about what everyone thinks about your sound, especially after your first album, because you got to keep following it up and you got to keep pressing. And then after a certain time, you just realize if I just write whatever I love and reach out to the influences that really speak to me, it'll also speak to other people. And so far, it's proven to do really well, and I'm really pumped about it. It's just been very exciting. I remember when we wrote like Upside Down, I was the first time I ever tried like doing like kind of a rap verse in anything. Very terrified when we did it, because I was like, people might hate this. Let's see how it goes, because I like it. And they loved it. And now it's become a part of like our sound. Like we had the rap Bridge and Skeleton, and Projector is kind of dominated by that, kind of like sing rap. But it's because I grew up listening to like hip hop and R&B, but also pop and pop punk and new metal. So, and like big band, all these different things, and just trying to merge them all into and access all of those things has been a fun challenge. And I think people are going to be really pleased with this album.
No, and I think that's dope. And I think one of the things that caught my eye, like I said, I heard about you guys. I want to say I was definitely in Des Moines, Iowa, because there was a fan of yours. There was a fan of yours when I was doing radio in Des Moines that was like constantly hitting us up to play your song.
Cool.
And I remember that because of the movie Set It Off, which is like a hood classic. And I thought like, oh, it's probably a rap band, a rap group. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't. But you guys had good music, and I'll never forget that for some reason. But one thing I will say is through the years, seeing you guys interact on social media with your fans, I always thought that was cool. There's a lot of artists and band members that'll kind of just shy away from the social media, and I feel like it appears as you guys embraced it, especially during COVID. Of course, that was probably the only avenue. So I've noticed that, and I just want to say like. I just think it's super dope when artists are out there, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media entertainment platform it is, when you're still out there showing love to your fans, regardless of whether you have new music or not. Because let's be honest, there's some groups or bands and artists, solo acts out there that'll only be out there when it's time for the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot to us.
So going back a little bit, you guys mentioned how mental health was kind of important, and making sure that you guys, kind of stayed on the up and up. And I think that's super dope, because I'm a mental health advocate. I went to therapy more during COVID than at any other point in my life, just to make sure that I was even keel. Because I think a lot of us lose sight of just trying to be even keel. You want to be even. You don't want to be too high. You don't want to be too low, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys speak a little more about the importance of mental health and kind of staying focused and in the zone?
Yeah, I know that you went on a personal journey.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, therapy was it truly saved me during COVID. I mean, I think whether or not there's a giant pandemic or some sort of massive crisis, I think everyone should do it, because everyone's going to. I was feeling all of these things, and I didn't know why. There was no explanation for it. And going to therapy, it doesn't make it go away, but it makes you understand why it's happening. And then you can control it better, and it doesn't feel like this scary monster. And I think doing that starts to allow you to learn more about yourself and accept who you truly are. And that kind of like freedom, that kind of mindfulness, the ability to learn how to be present and aware. Because I'm one of those people that's always like, all right, what's next? What's next? I wouldn't appreciate a moment. I would get some sort of milestone, and then I would go, great, what's the next thing? And I think that's part of, I think we're all similar in that way.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of why Set It Off has continued to be as successful as they are, but it's also important to take a second and kind of do a wellness check on yourself. Go, hey, what am I feeling right now? Am I enjoying this? Do I like this? Is there something that could be better, worse? Do I need to talk about this? And those are the kinds of skills and the kind of tools that I personally learned through therapy. And I think it has made me a more well-rounded person. I think it's made me a kinder person to others, because I think a lot of people go to therapy and think, oh, I'm going to do this, and then I'm just going to be happy all of the time. And that's just no human being is like that. And if they are, I don't want to meet them. It's insufferable. But I think that it's, just learning more about how to be in control of your own human experience.
Yeah.
Is huge.
Well said.
I think that's dope. I know, like, I could only speak for myself, but I remember, like, during COVID, just constantly being like, you're hearing all these stories of people that are losing their jobs. I still have mine. So then it was almost like a sort of, not to that extreme, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel some sort of way. And to kind of stop and smell the roses, and it's okay to give yourself flowers, if that makes sense, right?
Yes.
And to also just hit random people up, be like, yo, I appreciate you. Thank you for all that you did. Randomly had a thought, wanted you to know, boom. Like, that shit goes a long way.
Yes, it does. It does. Anytime someone's coming up on a conversation, it's a piece of advice I got. Say, if you're talking about a friend fondly, text that person right now and let them know. And people need to hear that. I keep seeing this all the time. And it's so important that everyone needs to hear it. If you're talking about a friend that you care about, or they come up or pop up in your head, let them know you care about them and how much they mean to you, because everyone's going through something at some point. That's kind of like a big theme in our music too. It's like in our shows, just like we want you to be able to just like vent everything out, because I think a lot of us feel pressure to bottle stuff up because we feel like nobody wants to hear. But this is not really the case. You got people that care about you, your love. Like, go ahead and speak on that. And so, there's a song literally kind of referencing what you just said. Like, it's fine to not be happy all the time. It's part of life. You're going to be up, you're going to be down. And I think realizing that and becoming okay with that is a huge step to just personally growing, and just being okay with being sad sometimes. It's fine. You only know what that feels like because you felt happy before. So it's a very nice kind of liberating feeling to know that you're going to come back. So it's helpful, I guess.
What keeps you guys happy? The tour kicked off recently. What keep you guys happy on the road, aside from Call of Duty? I'm sure.
I don't get much of that on the road.
So he's never happy.
I'm never happy.
I mean, obviously playing the shows, just realizing that we have it again, and that that people still care and people are coming out, and just those moments. I got to see my family, which they live in Florida and I live in LA right now, and I get to see them a lot. So usually just over the holidays. So being able to reconnect with them, still being able to keep in touch with my fiance, my dogs via FaceTime, just like all of these little things, just we're personally going after the thing we love more than anything in the world, and to know that hasn't entirely seen a dead end, and someone told us we can't do it anymore, and that we're finding a way to pursue what we love still, instead of just sitting down and saying, I guess this is it. That makes me personally very happy.
That, I think, through a lot of 2020 and 2021, I think a lot of people felt very alone. Literally and figuratively, you're sitting in your own space and you can't be around anyone. And so I think being back physically with the rest of these guys has been amazing. Because when we succeed together. And if there's a speed bump, then we're able to handle it as a group, as opposed to feeling like you're all on your own. I forgot how nice that feels. It's nice to be back.
Yeah, and headbanging is pretty cool.
I love it. So March 11th, the new album's coming out. Is there anything that you can kind of give us some information on that may not be out there just yet? Maybe some little tiny exclusive?
I'll say expect another song soon. You'll get 2 songs coming up. I'll say that. I can't say exactly what they are, but get ready for some new tunes.
I like it. And obviously the album comes out March 11th. How can people follow you guys on social media? And then once they follow you on social media, how can they get tickets for the current tour that's still going on?
Absolutely. A lot of the info, if you want tickets, you want merch, you want VIP, all of that's going to be at setitoffband.com. At Set It Off for our Instagram, Twitter. I think TikTok's also just Set It Off. It's all just Set It Off. So search Set It Off and come get to know us and hang out. Hope you like the music.
And you guys are in New York City this Sunday night, playing in the greatest city on planet Earth. Am I biased? Duh, of course I am. But Sunday night should be a fun show. There's an alleged snowstorm coming in, but luckily,
we're weather permitting. We're kind of a little nervous, to be honest with you, but hopefully we can make it work.
But luckily, it's supposed to kind of hit on Saturday afternoon. Luckily, I'm on air Saturday afternoon, 2 to 7, and then hopefully I can get home in time to watch the Royal Rumble, something that you just unfortunately can't do. Although they'll be to watch along as well. So.
Oh, those are amazing.
That's amazing.
Listen, so before we let you go, I'm a diehard wrestling fan. That's my one like vice. Getting a lot of wrestling collectibles, wrestling T-shirts. There's an NWO pillow behind me. The little NWO.
Yes.
Along with a lint brush because I was wearing black. Heavyweight titles, wrestling buddies. I mean, I got a whole lot of stuff. What do you guys collect that is kind of like this? If I had a man cave, this would be an alleged man cave.
For me, it's like Marvel anything. That's something that happened over the pandemic. I fell in love with the MCU. Like, just watched every single film. I have like a bunch of enamel pins of Marvel stuff in my backpack. That's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah, I collect a lot of like Harry Potter wands. I have like a whole wall of them. That's something that I started in the pandemic as well. So I was like, I need as many wands as possible, and I made like displays for them. It's a fun hobby for sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I still have all of my wrestling action figures from when I was a kid. The rings, the Titantron, all of it. I also love Magic the Gathering, so I play a lot of that. I collect those cards as well. That's a fun one because it kind of keeps your mind active when you're sitting in the bus for 9 hours. So you don't feel like your brain is turning to soup. Yeah.
I dig it. And side note, before I let you go, I recently got engaged, so I too have a fiance. Kudos to the fiance club.
That's great.
Thank you. She's also right here as well.
Awesome.
Oh, cute.
Get ready. Never ending. When's the date? When's the date?
Listen, everybody asked. We already have a date. We already have a venue. And
Wow. Prepared. Love it.
anybody that asks me a question, I'm like, that's my answer to everything. Just all I know is that and all I want to know is like, yo, is it cheaper if I pay cash? And then that's it. That's all. That's it. That's all I care about. All right.
Yeah.
They probably think I'm sort of drug lord or something, but in reality, I'm just being smart.
Oh, absolutely. It ain't a cheap thing to do.
Yeah. My like vice is wrestling. My fiance's vice is Harry Potter. So she would love that.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, this is the final question. This is the Dunkin Latte Lounge. I want you guys to each answer. If you needed to spend 60 minutes having coffee at Dunkin' with any artist dead or alive, who would you each pick?
Bruno Mars.
Man, Bruno
Picking
Mars.
Bruno. I know. It's just, to me, he's just, obviously there's so many legends that other people might want to say, like, just like different ones like that aren't living right now. But currently, Bruno Mars is one of the most inspirational people to me. You see him right, and you know he's just doing everything, and he's so unbelievably gifted at every facet of what I want to be doing. So I have nothing but respect and adoration for him. So I would love that.
I think I would do Freddie Mercury.
Oh, that's a good answer.
I think it would be very interesting to
It'd be a great conversation.
I know, and I've seen interviews with him, and he's hilarious. So I would definitely have a good time chopping it up with him.
Yeah.
Oh, the first one that came to mind, Childish Gambino. He's been a
Oh,
really
yeah.
big influence. His ability to take his music and then create an entire world around it, and not just through music videos, but through all kinds of media, has been so inspiring. Plus, I just think he would be really funny. You know,
Yeah.
after
Oh, yeah.
watching Community and all that, I think it would just be a really good hang.
Hell yeah.
Set it off one more time. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by the Dunkin' Lounge, yo.
Dude, thanks for having us,
Thank
man. It's
you.
been a blast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are Set It Off, and this is our latest single called Projector. So light me up, my little projector, then eat me up like Hannibal Lecter. Then turn us from a friend into strangers, cause you'll never admit that you're wrong. Enough's enough, projector. So sit us down and give a new lecture. To wear us out like ugly old sweaters. You bum me out till I wrote a song. Enough's enough, projector. Shut the fuck up, please. You flap your gums until I wanna pull my teeth. You may invade the brain and wear them down and do insane to say, oh wow, a word? That's wild, I agree. Nah, cause that cannot be me. I see through every smile like 20 bread count sheets. Apologize to die, you choose the latter, not the right to be a decent human being just for once. I'm talking to a wall again. Why do I even try? So light me up, my little projector, then eat me up like Hannibal Lecter. Then turn it from a friend into strangers, cause you'll never admit that you're wrong. Enough's enough, projector. So sit us down and give a new lecture. To wear us out like ugly old sweaters. You bum me out till I wrote a song. Enough's enough, projector. Shh, Listen more, talk less. I've seen this film before and I know how this ends. You tell me how you're right to light relationships on fire and try to lock us all inside because you're wrong. Wow, look at your success. You shit on all your friends and blame them for them. But I don't need to believe everything that I read, because if there's a demon that's stealing my piece of disease and never leaves until I sing for gritted teeth. I'm talking to a wall again. Why do I even try? Light me up a little projector, then eat me up a cannibal lecter. Then turn us from a friend into strangers, cause you'll never admit that you're wrong. Enough, projector. So sit us down and give a new lecture. Then wear us out like ugly old sweaters. You bum me out till I wrote a song. Enough, projector. Oh, projector. Oh, projector. Oh, projector. So, if stubborn is as stubborn as you've done enough tonight, I'm talking to a wall again. Why do I even try to light me up, my little projector, then eat me up a cannibal lecter, and turn us from a friend into strangers, cause you'll never admit that you're wrong. Enough, projector. So sit us down and give a new lecture, then wear us out like ugly old sweaters. You bum me out till I wrote a song. Enough, projector. Shut the fuck up, please, projector. Yeah, projector. Shut the fuck up, please, projector. So light me up, a little projector. Hey, what's up? We're Set It Off, and this is our single, Skeleton. Skin and bones, vulnerable. Crack my ribs and make me whole. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. A silhouette is following, just waiting to break me down. I had it good, that's what I get. I guess that it's my turn now. Got the wires tangled, twisted, find me again. Fracture, break me into pieces. To all that I am, skin and bones, vulnerable. Crack my ribs and make me whole. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. Fix my head, stitch my soul. Find out where it all went wrong. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. Skeleton! La 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 la. A blinding pain behind my eyes is covering up the truth. Inside my brain's a parasite. It's telling me what to do. Feeding on my happiness like I never deserved it at all. I never deserved it at all. Feeling like a pessimist when I just wanna laugh through it all. Laugh through it all. Skin and bones, vulnerable. Crack my ribs and make me whole. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. Fix my head, stitch my soul. Find out where it all went wrong. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. Skeleton! La 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 la. I reject pain with the frame that I maintain. Pulling on chains, wanna break what I can't change. All that rage put away in my rib cage comes out in stages. Sucking on stages, spinning over that you break it backwards. Wouldn't crack my wrist and take my oxygen. I'm dead if I do it right, don't. I'm breaking my bones, can't make it alone. No. Making such a mess. Hey. It's getting permanently painted in my head. Hey. And there's no going back, so love me like I'm dead. Hey. Until there's nothing left. Hey. And watch me decompose. Oh. Till I'm skin and bones, vulnerable. Crack my ribs and make me whole. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. Fix my head, stitch my soul. Find out where it all went wrong. Come and breathe the air into my lungs. I just wanna be your skeleton. Skeleton!
To see more videos like this, check out DunkinLatteLounge.com. And if you're posting on social, use the hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge.